and definitely a strength here for Xiaohu.
With the Varus ban as well, I imagine that that is the priority pick they want to set up for. Some things that Top Esports could look to take away upon the Azir being sniped by Weibo, if that is the direction they go for. I'm thinking of Rumble. Best jungler on the patch after the Jarvan is still probably the Wukong. Yeah. Actually, it's the Orianna instead. Oh. So this gives you a little bit of variety of what you want to combo. There's no Malphite for the Orianna Shockwave Unstoppable Force, but Wukong is a great way to deliver the ball. Nocturne is still available and a great champion for Jiejie as well.
Wow, I'm surprised. I'm looking at Xiaohu's match history in the LPL. His most played champion is Azir. At 5 games, his next highest is 2, and it's split between 3 champions, but I just think the difference there is remarkable and shows the priority. I wonder if this is something that's going to maybe play for a Vi here for Jiejie, who has been, again, another standout jungler here in Group Ascend. Top Esports do respond by taking that Azir they were mentioning and the Pantheon, so already really great skirmishing potential in the mid-jungle, and if this Azir is going to be on side lanes getting gold for themselves, the Pantheon can try to help that.
I can respect the Pantheon denial from Jiejie whenever Jiejie is able to get a very aggressive early game for himself, which Pantheon kind of, after the Jarvan, stands out as the next best option if you really want to get in your opponent's faces before level 6. He excels at that, and you have the global pressure with the Grand Starfall. And as you called, if you get this Vi, that's another great way to just guarantee a 100-0 lockdown on a priority target, cease and desist into the Shockwave, throw a red carpet from Rumble on top of it, and yeah, you've got a guaranteed kill.
That's how you out-interact the Azir. Usually Azir has all this range. Can't really do much if he's getting locked up like that. So I like the combo here for Weibo. It's strong. I think it also lets them play a little bit behind the ball when it comes to setting up objectives. We're going into the second phase of bans here. No AD carries. We still have Yunara, which I think has really dropped in priority now that Corki has started to get phased in alongside that Nami. We've seen a lot of Jhin, but Jhin is currently, I think, 2-8 right now with that win from LNG. So I am now going to be looking for, I'm kind of wanting to see, like, are we going to get an MF first to start off this game, or are we going to continue to rely on those 80 carries that we had seen previously?
Taking away the Yunara, there's the MF call out as well. I'm curious to see whether Weibo or Top Esports are going to go for a non-tank support in this first game, because usually the way that supports have kind of played out in these best of 3 Fearless series, Alk, is we exhaust the Alistar / Nautilus or Rel or Poppy options, and then once those are off the board, then we start looking at, okay, do we want to play Lulu with something like a Yunara? Do we want to play Karma with something that gets a lot more poke? But the Kai'Sa being taken off the table, I mean, I feel like you are down to Jhin, even though it hasn't looked great across the board. Corki, I guess, is the other option you can go for.
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to get a Jhin Bard this game. The lane is a little weak, especially if we were expecting what is going to potentially be a Nami on 5 here for Top Esports. But I think Bard gets so much value versus an Azir. And if you're Top Esports, you're saying, cool, I can have a Bard versus a Rumble, a Jhin, potentially an Orianna. These are two of the 3 champions already locked here for Weibo. Get immense value with that champion being available. So Weibo, instead, they're going to go for these hyper carries. 80 carry has shifted away from a lot of these duelists, the Yunara that we were talking about earlier, and has really now pivoted into the role that I feel like if you can play a Sivir, if you can play things like the Aphelios, you get so much value on 3 items here.
I do like the pivot with Sivir and Alistar, because if you do go for the Sivir, you deny the Alistar, which is the one support that says, I don't care about your spell shield, I'm landing this combo either way. Get out interacted. Yeah. This does set up for a counter pick support for Fengyue. Bard at least will have the range advantage, so both he and JiaQi on this Corki will get push, which aids NaiYou's ability to try and invade early, or at least get priority from his bot lane to start stacking up some of those dragons early on. So Top Esports, you have, I imagine, ways to play through bot lane exclusively this game. Not sure how the top lane matchup push is going to go. I imagine that with Rumble Flame Spitter, you should be able to get priority. Do we just see mirrored clears from our junglers, with Jiejie pathing to support Zika and try to get him ahead of this Mbessa, and then Pantheon on the opposite side?
I think if you're 369, you're kind of just chilling. Like, this is a lane you're going to go down like 10 CS by the 10-minute mark, but you should be fine. You have so many shields, and especially once you get a few recalls, you can get your Merc Treads early, you can get closer to your Eclipse first item. It's going to be a little bit before Weibo, I think, start to come online here. And for top esports, I mean, I'm looking at this mid-jungle matchup, and Orianna doesn't have the same ability to skirmish like Azir does, but you have a Vi on the opposite side. So I want to see Jiejie get a little bit active here. I know there's a Pantheon on the other side, but I think Pantheon this game, your big worry is just being there to prevent Vi from starting actions. I think as a champion, you have a little bit more say in how fights go because you just have this Aegis Assault. The fact that you can just deny damage from a certain direction is really, really powerful.
And the big caveat for top esports' composition this game is they don't really have a true front line, not even a tank support. So we're going to see how this all unfolds. The last time these two teams met, it was a top esports victory, but with Weibo Gaming's recent victory over Jiejie last night, let's see if they can turn the tides of battle.
Top esports fans will work on it. I think all of them are on vacation with JiaQi at the current time. So
damn.
yeah. Look at this. This level 1. I mean, already Erha has taken a lot of damage, but Alk has the boomerang blades. They've already have a wave advantage, and I mean, once the pots are done, if they hit level 2 first as Sivir Alistar, that kind of flips some of this matchup. Now, we are seeing that mirrored clear that you were talking about, you were asking for. Jiejie will be going towards the top side, but I don't think you have very many angles onto an Mbessa with a Rumble.
Yeah, you don't really have setup from the Rumble. He can try and slow with those harpoons, but if you don't land that Vault Breaker, the gank is not happening. I will say, I liked the early usage of the heal from this bot lane from Weibo. They dodged out on the Phosphorus Bomb, so it gave them a bit of a health advantage and the ability to push in for the level 2 first. Remember, this is a double range bot lane that we were kind of expecting to be able to get that first push, but Alk and Erha being able to at least establish some dominance in this bot lane early on. They're going to get the first crash with this cannon minion, and already Fengyue is forced to recall here.
Now, I will give them 1 point here for TES, which is Bard gets to be a little bit of a cheat code. He has a free health pot on his W at any given time, and he also gets experience from roaming out on the map if he picks up his chimes. Now, there aren't going to be as many here early on, but I think this was an okay timer for top esports to find. Erha is looking potentially mid, but I think Creme is just okay here. And he spots him.
I think he got spotted. I would have preferred, if Erha has Hex Flash in his inventory, he could have just looked maybe the Raptor camp. I don't think you ever get a kill in this scenario with just Orianna level 4, but you can try and just burn flash for flash, and that guarantees a setup for Jiejie and Xiaohu once either of them hit level 6.
I mean, look, Jiejie's here now. If we just delay the play another 30 seconds,
it's too late.
Yeah,
Window's closed.
Yep. It's going to be TES getting some priority in the bottom side. Our junglers now going into the river. They get their scuttles here at 315. Not all that bad. And early action-wise, we haven't seen all that much. Again, I know we haven't talked too much about scaling, but I do like how top esports have a lot of options in this game to start fights. A lot of it is a little bit tougher to land, and so if we're talking about ease of execution, I would say that Weibo generally have a much better time in that instance.
Yeah, top esports, thankfully with this Pantheon, will still have a little bit of early proactivity. Fengyue going to slow him with the auto attacks and try to look for that Cosmic Binding. Unfortunately, Xiaohu was a little too far from the wall for it to tag and guarantee a stun. But a little bit of harass goes a long way in helping establish some lane pressure for Creme's Azir.
This game already, we're probably going to be tracking jungle support. Just immediately. No kills early on. No one's flipping. Xiaohu hasn't had to take an awful back to start off the game. just very freely farm up this mid wave right now. Both mid laners will TP. And a lot of vision being placed by Weibo on the top side, so it's going to be a little bit before they're able to really transfer a lot of that, and already top esports are getting minor information gains seeing Erha cross over from bottom lane.
Yeah, this has been quite an active game from both Erha and Fengyue, and I'm glad that you pointed out this support matchup as one of the things that we really wanted to track. These are both two supports who are trying to make their name in this next generation class of supports that hopefully one day get to be strong enough to join the ranks of some of our top supports in the league. But 369, uh-oh. I mean, I don't think they're going to chase him down. Jiejie's like, I'd rather just get this crab, or Krugs, I should say. 369, dude, he feels so confident. This is
wait
crazy.
a minute, Zika hit 6. Wait, Zika hit 6 here, and Jiejie's almost dead. Look, I thought this was okay from 369 because if Jiejie and Zika stay, Zika misses his entire top lane wave. Oh, come on, brother.
Okay, Vault Breaker right on top for the equalizer. It forces 369 to flash away. He's not level 6. He's just going to flash on top because Xiaohu is fast on the track, but Creme ensures that Xiaohu cannot get to the play by the Emperor's Divide, but a great Vault Breaker flash guarantees the kill onto 369's the best, and that's first blood for Weibo Gaming.
Dragon's going to be taken by top esports.
Shockwave.
An ult to kill Fengyue.
Okay. He doesn't go down. That's what we say, hashtag calculated in the support chat right there.
What is 369 doing, brother? Like, the first bait where he's jiggling with 369, or with Jiejie, it was fine. I like the idea. You're preventing him. Again, there was a huge wave that was about to crash from 369. It was a cannon wave, so I get that. But then afterwards, you just gotta leave. That was him being a little too greedy, thinking that he could do that, and maybe not remembering or visualizing that Zika had hit level 6. So 369 misses out on a kill's worth of gold, dies, loses both his summoner spells, and now he's in a lot tougher position because Zika this entire time was getting at least some quest experience while all this was happening.
Oh yeah, because he was proxying, and that gives you like more points or something, right?
No, it just means that you're still in the lane. When you're behind,
okay.
So the way that quest experience works is you have to be further than the most alive turret in that lane. So where our two top laners are now, that's good. If you are 369 and you're behind the enemy red side turret, that's good. If you're Zika and behind your tier 1 turret, that is bad. You will not get bonus passive XP.
Oh, so it rewards you for like still proxying them, but it punishes you for playing behind your tower like a
Yeah,
scaredy
exactly.
cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
You can't just like sit in the lane like emote dancing and trolling your team. You can't just bard and edit up in your lane. You have to actually be present for the most part.
Gotcha.
But aside from that kill, it just opens up a pretty huge lead for Weibo. Like 1,000 gold here at 7 minutes.
Nice. Wait a minute. Okay, well, Magical Journey allows JiaQi to get out safely, but he's got a little close there, but he did not pull the trigger on either his flash or barrier, so ends up at least being a summoner spell up. But I'll take that back, because that was just a free summoner spell courtesy of that unsealed spellbook. Jiejie, level 6. Not sure if there's a play here.
Nothing. Back to the shadow realm here. JiaQi misses out on this wave. Alk, if he gets the second plate, he is so paid. He already had the call, and he's almost done with it. Basically 2/3 done with this item. They're going to recall. Grubs do now spawn in 5 seconds. I wonder if top esports are going to be looking for it. I think you cannot give Grubs over to a team that has Azir, but you have priority from your bottom lane who are able to move. Fengyue is going to cheat priority and get level 6 by teleporting into the mid lane. So this will give top esports immediate priority over the objective, but I think Weibo can respond with some item purchases.
I think that's the best thing they can hope for. The way I look at this, especially jungle mid duo, depending on what Xiaohu buys off of this last chapter, if it's something bursty like in Luden's Echo, there is a big one item wake up for this Vi Orianna combo. And between the Rumble as well, which is one of the most infamous champions that spikes on one item, I think you just try and bring this 3-man core to the second dragon fight taking place in 1 minute 54 seconds, and you just try to flip the game and snowball from there.
Oh, this is difficult here for Weibo. They were maybe going to see if JiaQi was going to stay a little bit too far up. This allows now Jiejie to walk in for enemy red buff. Bard's on his way, and NaiYou is going to be spotted on a ward here. So Weibo, they don't get very much, but it's essentially 2 waves worth of Alk just slamming all these minions into top esports. You're just open up, I think, a lot of windows for Erha to get up onto the map, and I think more importantly, just make sure Xiaohu is okay. I think if you just feed this guy information and you let Xiaohu basically shot call the entire game, that has led a lot of teams to success into internationals previously.
True. He's got quite the nice track record for it. And it definitely would be a nice way to beat the allegations he's had this split. For Weibo, Jiejie is spotted.
Wow.
Great ward on the tri-bush, and Jiejie immediately spots it. Brand Starfall looking top lane because he knows that the Vi is on the bot side and cannot bail out Zika this time around. Public execution lands, there's the stun for NaiYou, and Zika will accept his fate, just trying to kill the entire minion wave before he goes down.
Hey, thankfully for him, it actually almost kills 369. 369 is going to have to recall. And is there going to be a fight? We have Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. No ults from either of our top laners, but I think if we get into a 5-on-5 standoff, I'd rather be Weibo at this moment. We have a cease and desist, and you barely just use your Grand Starfall. It's a good way to get 369 back into this game, and I think Top Esports are going to be looking to move themselves to the other side of the map at this moment.
Teleport is being used, though, just to catch the top wave, and a teleport from 369 just to make sure that he does not get caught out by Zika coming back to top side. Now, public execution will not be available for Dragon, but Jiejie is going to be late to the Dragon setup, not being able to start it up on time. So I'm curious if Top Esports will try and look for something cheeky here to cheat this Dragon setup, or if it should just be going in the bag for Weibo. Yeah.
So Creme's going to reset. He's going to buy, hopefully, a completed item here. So he has Nashor's Tooth. I think Zika honestly could have moved if they really needed him to be here for this fight. They've got bot lane priority, mid lane's pushing as well. This is Weibo's objective to start. And I think if Top Esports cannot secure this Dragon, they're going to be in a little bit of a world of hurt. Every Dragon Weibo get gives them 5 more minutes.
Xiaohu is quite low on mana here. He's got one rotation. Oh, Erha with the fling! Shockwave delivery system with the side of beef to go. Weibo Gaming, what a great way to play that one out.
And now, you were worried. You said, Xiaohu, you don't have mana. Maybe Xiaohu doesn't have HP. That's a lot of movement speed from the command dissonance.
Lethal tempo, but he's got Jiejie right behind him. Xiaohu just needs to walk this one out. Creme might try to challenge Jiejie. He does have the Nashor's Tooth and the lethal tempo was stacked up, but here comes Erha from another flank. He flashes the pulverized combo. Elk is going to assist Jiejie just to make sure that there is no funny business on this Dragon. That would have been really sad if JiaQi stole it with the rocket, but he's clutch with a smite, and the second Dragon of the game goes to Weibo Gaming.
What is Top Esports doing? I get chasing Xiaohu, but everything after that, I mean, we're wasting time for JiaQi to get a wave and look for his recall. That was a fantastic fight there from Weibo. Great flank coming in from this support rookie that we had talked about. No vision. NaiYou a little too late, but getting a ward down. Comboed immediately. Great snap engage coming in from the mid and support combo of Weibo Gaming. Turns themselves into getting the Dragon and maintaining this 1,000 gold lead we've seen from them.
Really huge for Weibo Gaming to make that play. Obviously, we were expecting that the Dragon should have been in their favor, but to get a couple more kills off the back of it too. We're seeing the role quest start to get completed here by a majority of our members here on the Rift. It's not the biggest gold lead, so Top Esports are no way, shape, or form completely out of the game. That was just one setback, but the gold lead is very much so in the pocket of Elk, and if Weibo can continue leveraging this bot lane and get this Sivir online, oh boy, that's going to be a big problem for Top Esports.
Yeah, I mean, Top Esports, you have a huge wake-up right now. This was probably the worst time we could have flown a lower third for myself personally, but we looked at the items for Top Esports. You've now completed a Trinity Force, you've completed the Nashor's Tooth, and you've completed, like, the Sundered Sky and Eclipse here. I think this is the next, like, minute and a half is really where Top Esports should be feeling empowered to fight. I'm hoping we see a Herald fight coming up soon, because this is really, like, not quite the apex, but we're getting to it. If Azir hits 2 items, the Muramon is going to be done in 5 minutes on maybe this next Dragon fight. I think Top Esports should be really, really focused on putting the objectives in their back pockets, because right now, you're just giving a ticking time bomb. Xiaohu and Elk have already finished their first items, and are under no pretenses of being threatened here in this game.
Yep, Jiejie already here on the top side, and Erha has found his way, being able to sneak through the shadows once again. NaiYou, what are you up to? Do they want to dive Xiaohu on the bottom side of the map? I mean, Xiaohu should know that there's a play happening on top side. So public execution only goes through one, does not give 369 the bailout that he was looking for. And Weibo Gaming's mid laner is playing it safe and saying, you know what? Yeah, take that turret. I'm not going to give up a death this time around.
Yeah, guess who doesn't have flash right now? Creme. Creme's the one that doesn't have flash, and he can't do anything here in this bottom lane. Xiaohu is perfectly fine. He's going to give up most of this wave. And Weibo, for now, while they lose access to the first turret of the game, I think this is a really, really smart trade from Weibo. And great respect being paid by Xiaohu as the weak side of the map. 369 has become a little bit of a liability, specifically on this Mbessa in the early game.
Erha at least delaying a little bit of damage coming out from Creme when he went for the all-in onto Alk. It did come at the cost of the silver ulti. NaiYou, does he just want to flash in onto Alk? No way, right? Yeah,
this is fake.
Not going to commit
flash,
to that.
He has barrier. Yeah, I don't think this is real. And now, top esports, they need to muscle their way into this objective because this Herald, there's a small window where Weibo won't be able to answer, but their soul lanes both have teleport right now, and you still have at least a ultimate trade of having Shockwave versus no Emperor's Divide.
And that just might be enough for top esports to fear contesting this Rift Herald by themselves. I mean, Alk can always just force priority now that he's quite fed on this Sivir. Xiaohu has already teleported to the top side, chunks out Creme. Really nice QW combo coming in there just to make sure that he has had a health advantage. 5k on the Rift Herald. NaiYou and Fengyue are the first ones to step up into the river. Teleport is coming in. 2k HP. It's enough for Jiejie to secure the Rift Herald. Wow, that just felt so well played by Weibo Gaming.
At top esports, they lose out on the Herald, and because we saw 369 trying to move first, does in trade mean that there's not going to be any teleports here for Weibo. So I would say generally that that's an okay, you know, like trade to go for, or the art of the deal. But if you're top esports, you don't exactly have the advantage on the dragons. The only lane that you have an advantage over is bottom lane, so hopefully that means you can get a little bit of priority over this upcoming objective. But they have no vision right now. And again, Erha is doing a fantastic job, not just on these flanks, but controlling all of the available vision coverage that is here for top esports. They have very little wards that they're going to have to now walk through.
It's quite impressive that Erha's proactivity is out-roaming a Bard as an ally.
Yeah!
You would think that with a magical journey, you should be able to have unprecedented mobility across the map and just, you know, taking care of some vision here and watering up your plants over here. But yet it's Erha just making sure that he is getting out on the map first every single time, and he's optimizing his time very efficiently. Now, Weibo have lost a little bit of that vision control that Erha worked so hard to maintain because top esports have pretty much muscled their way into this blue quadrant side of the jungle. But Jiejie's waiting on the left side, ready to dive onto 369, or at least
start
send a
the
Rift
dragon
Herald and get some more gold. And yeah, top esports, rip the dragon right now. You see Jiejie, there should be no reason for you guys to take this slowly.
Whoa! Public execution goes a little to the left there. I think this was an okay, like this is, I think, Weibo recognizing that they can't make this play. Now, we are going to try to look for something mid. They are bringing over the Herald. Oh, it completely misses.
Well, Erha does cleanse the Cosmic Binding with his ultimate, but Alk is on the wrong side. Jiejie and Xiaohu, can they get there in time to interrupt it? Shockwave onto two. The
What is
Bard
Creme
ultimate
doing?
delays a little bit of the fight, but Creme is now completely isolated. I think that Bard ultimate screwed them all over. Equalizer from the top from Zika. Burns the ball down. Top esports are scrambling, and 369 cannot salvage the play. Weibo Gaming just completely clowned on them.
What was going on from the soul laners of top esports? And this is going to just be a long trade. NaiYou's having a little bit of fun at this point. He's going to use the Hextech portal. Alk will get at least one more kill. Weibo explode in the lead now. This was a moment where there was a desync in the timers for Weibo. They knew they didn't have teleports. They had to trade the dragon over to top esports, but top esports just way too aggressive to try to pick up Alk, who still is deathless here in this game.
I really want to look back at the replay and watch the tempered fate. So obviously the initial play, it's fine.
This is fine. This is fine. This is okay. Let's try to force summoner spells. This is good.
Look at the timing.
I think Creme with the flash here is not amazing. Oh, wait. This was a... Okay. yes, it was a great, it was the ultimate that kind of messed up the damage dealers for top esports, but the shockwave from Xiaohu there brings them into it. That was immaculate coming in from Weibo. Again, great team fighting at the very end there, but I think an overextension from top esports. Now, they're being forced to pay the price. They are very far behind. They have no ability to dictate any kind of map pressure on this game right now. And now we're moving into a state where Baron's going to be up, and you're going up against, you're supposed to be this huge spiking team. I mean, you're going to have 2-item Corki and a Zirsu.
Pulverized flash right on top of JiaQi. Does he have the Valkyrie to get out? Tempered Fate does deny damage from Alk. The public execution hits the spell shield, so Alk is still able to free fire with these boomerang blades.
They got nothing.
There's Jiejie looking for NaiYou with the cease and desist, and top esports, you can feel the desperation through my LCD monitor, Alk. Weibo Gaming are taking this nice and easy, and top esports are sweating.
Wow, just a really big overforce, and now JiaQi is going to go down as well. There it is. We're throwing a single lone ability from Alk. Let's not tank up all the turret shops now, brother. Will be the mid-tier 1, as well as 3 players going down. Top esports, if they were just a little closer in this game, if they had the damage, that would look good, but now Creme is going, what are we doing? All right, this game's done.
Top esports, yeah, they're desperate. They're trying to flip the game because they realize it has been completely ripped from their control, and now multiple individuals on top esports are just trying to flip the game without any backup whatsoever, and Weibo Gaming are just there with the punish. Oh my goodness, Erha is ready on the other side of the magical journey just to make sure that Fengyue does not get out alive. Zika burns him down to a crisp. Weibo Gaming enjoying some barbecue tonight.
Well, this might explain why we've seen top esports struggle so far in 2026. We saw it in one of the shots that we had, or the clip that we showed from top esports. A lot of the way that this team is shot calling is through Fengyue, and he is a very, very inexperienced player. He had some decent success in the LDL, but aside from that, this is his first time playing here in the LPL, and you're just kind of seeing the lack of experience show. I mean, we are conga lining in. This team fight isn't great, but it's as good as it's going to get. Great spell shield from Alk, prevents the bump execution, and puts 369 in a terrible position. And from here, I mean, they just don't have the damage. Now we're seeing it again.
Oh my goodness. It's a public beatdown that is not friendly for family audiences, so if you got kids at home, you might as well turn off the stream and just wait for this game too, because this is not going to be pretty. NaiYou will not survive the dive from the side of Weibo Gaming, and all 5 members committed to the play, and all 5 members will get out alive unless JiaQi Zika just flashes right in front of him. Creme's gonna send it to 2, takes the shutdown onto the Rumble, but Jiejie is right where he wants to be in a forward fist fight onto Fengyue. Creme looking for Erha on the back line, but Jiejie will flash over, make sure that his support lives, and Erha goes back in for another pulverized combo. This is peak Weibo Gaming, and they're just styling all over top esports.
It's week 2 of the regular season. I really hope this isn't peak Weibo right now. I'm scared. I'm scared for playoffs. This is going to be peak. Okay.
I was feeling it.
I know. Well, you know, Raafaa, there was a small glimmer there, and I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot for top esports, where they almost were able to make the turn. I'm looking at JiaQi. He finished the Muramana. He has a lot of damage, but they're just too far behind. It is now a 7,000 gold lead here for Weibo Gaming. It just feels like for top esports, they are about a step behind. NaiYou, this is a great engage, but your Creme's doing no damage underneath this turret right now. And JiaQi is putting out that damage, but no one's there. Fengyue is about a screen away. Good flash from Zika to try to force onto JiaQi. I think the idea from Creme is decent, but now JiaQi has walked forward, and that has given Jiejie the instant go button to just snap onto this Corki, take him out of the fight. And now you're going to be walking into a Baron that's live. They had to give the Dragon over as well with missing summoner spells and a lot of gold in Weibo's pockets.
Somehow, in all of that... Oh, actually, never mind. I forgot that top esports took their second dragon when Jiejie was pushing on the top side of the map. I thought they just got a random dragon when they were down 7,000 gold, but not the case here.
Kind of lit.
369, you might be in trouble. Okay, NaiYou and Fengyue are setting up a trap. They look for Alk. Uh-oh. Elk might be dead. Erha punts away one, but he cannot punt away all of them. Elk, no way, gets out. Fengyue just needs to tackle one more time. Just one more time. NaiYou, can he find the Comet Sphere from afar? The flash guarantees it. Okay, that's a big shutdown going to the pockets of Pantheon. Will it make the difference?
Ooh.
Unclear. Weibo Gaming drop another one. Hang on, wait a minute. Top Esports might be cooking here. Zika is going to get stunned up by the Tempered Fate, but he burns JiaQi while going golden. Yeah, he's healing the Hanwha Moon for this one. Weibo Gaming now trying to see if they can find NaiYou on the other side of this wall. And yeah, they're going to find NaiYou with the Pantheon. No Grand Star Fall to get out of this one. Eventually, he'll go down. All right, he sidesteps the Vault Breaker. Gets a little bit of style points back. And meanwhile, Creme is saying, well, just buy time for me, guys. I got this second-tier turret.
He just got 5 plates. I mean, he got a full turret. Somehow the gold lead is lower than it was before this fight, even with 4 members of Top Esports going down. They got the shutdown onto Elk, onto JiaQi. I like the ideas that Top Esports are going for. The execution has been giving me a lot of worries here. So,
jump scare.
Yeah, the exhaust there, a spell shield from Elk is good. Erha plays this fight mechanically very well. I'm very happy with what we're getting from him. We had a lot of criticisms for Weibo.
Baron.
It's Baron, yeah, I don't care. I mean, Erha has been really, really good. It just took a little bit for this Weibo bot lane to work.
All right, you're right. NaiYou was nowhere near. He was just coming back from base, and now Weibo Gaming are ready to start the party once again and look for curtains on this one. 369 will offer up his life just to make sure that the rest of Top Esports can get out alive. But Creme, unfortunately, they still have a cease and desist. Great choke point for that equalizer, but nobody else from Weibo Gaming can follow up. But Fengyue is caught in the crossfire, and once again roasted on a spit. Weibo Gaming eliminate 2 off the map. It's a 5-on-3 for the next 30 seconds. Shockwave is a whiff. It's okay, Xiaohu. Can't hit them all.
Okay. Oh, I mean, at that point, when you're this far ahead, I think you're allowed. You can miss some of them, and I'm sure Top Esports are still sweating themselves here in this game. So, wow, what a great game here from Weibo so far. Again, not perfect, but I think from what we have seen, they have really punished their opponents here. I mean, Top Esports are making mistake after mistake. They are not executing on the plays that they would have wanted to. It turns into a Baron, and this Baron timer is going to be perfect. It's 2 minutes before it falls down, and we have Dragon that spawns 45 seconds before that. So I hope NaiYou has the damage here.
Spell shield for the Comet Spear. Fengyue flashes on top. Okay, they take care of the Sivir. Tempered Fate delays Zika's entrance here, but Jiejie and Xiaohu, they're all looking for NaiYou. Wow! CY in the chat. The Pantheon makes it out alive. The rest of Top Esports can now fight as 5. Maybe it could be an angle here, but Creme just needs space. He needs time, so he can just rip through every last one with these Sand Soldiers.
Creme!
He's looking for the play. Everest Divide only keeps up 1, but he goes golden in the Zonias.
No.
Multi-man pulverize, and the Shockwave! 3K Elo from Xiaohu. Weibo Gaming are going to put this game to rest, and any last hope the Top Esports had in coming back, Weibo Gaming going to wrap game 1 in the series.
Yeah, that right there just completely closes it out. He may have missed the one right before, but that immediately redeems anything that Weibo could have done wrong here in this game. Goes from a 5,000 gold lead to a 10,000 gold lead with that tier 2 turret going down. 4-man Shockwave. I mean, yeah, that was a mistake from Elk being that far up, and his team came to play. It was a close fight, but if they weren't this far behind, Top Esports could have made this more interesting. But it's just like the sins of the past coming right back to bite them. Oh, boy.
Cool for NaiYou to make the grand escape. And then Top Esports think, okay, we have 5-on-4. We can turn this around. But little did they know.
They could have been right.
Little did they know that Xiaohu still got hands.
Creme tries to force. This is another great engage from Erha and from Xiaohu. Right here. Knock up onto 3 members. Xiaohu is still... We don't even get to see it again.
We're denied the 4-man Shockwave. We got 1-man Shockwave on the Fengyue. He makes it out with Magical Journey, but Erha is right on Han on his tails. Pulverized Flash takes a side of Creme. And now Weibo Gaming can finally do away with the rest of Top Esports. This should be curtains for the first game of our second series of the night. NaiYou gets completely trounced by a face full of fists. And Weibo Gaming, off of this minion wave, should put an end to our first game of the series.
Erha, clear MVP here of this game.
Yes.
Incredible play on the Alistar. making play after play, denying vision from his opponents, and also just setting up some of the biggest moments here in this game. A very clean game coming out 31-7 from Weibo. Ooh.
This beatdown was not friendly for family audiences, and we might have to put in a different kind of rating on the stream going into game 2 if Weibo Gaming continue to put this kind of beatdown in. But really well played stuff from the Weibo Gaming squad, and a great way to start off the second bout between these two teams.
I'm going to push you, Mark. You said if there's children watching, they shouldn't be. It is 1:30 in the morning on the West Coast, and for our normal viewership, no kids should not be awake at this time in general.
What about European audiences? What about European audiences?
The European audit. Let me check. What's today? Today's Tuesday. They should already be in school. It's like 9 a.m. Okay. They should. If you're watching this in class in Europe, get off your phone. Hit the books. You could be doing better.
It is very fitting that this is late night for Western audiences, at least in the Americas, because this would be the same time slot as Adult Swim, and that's pretty much what we just watched. So, adds up.
I'm not gonna ask you to explain that. We're gonna move on, I think. I was really excited for Top Esports, and they still have at least one more game to regain some of my hope. But that was tough. That was a tough game. Another one where I think Fengyue got completely gapped. Some of these Bard ultimates were not clean, and it's a bit of some growing pains, as we've come to know, for both Weibo and Top Esports, but they look still as lost as ever here in 2026.
We've definitely seen some glimpses of hope from Top Esports and this jungle support duo when they get things right, but when things fall off the rails that early, I think you can sense the desperation. And given that their composition, it's not that their comp didn't have any scaling. Creme was kind of your late game insurance policy. This Mbessa does better when she has more items under her belt, but they were falling so far behind the curve of the game that they were like, we just need to flip and we need to get some shutdowns back in our pockets. And, you know, by the time they flipped the game for the 5th time, they got a 1K shutdown from Alk. Like, yeah, we got him, guys. It's winnable. Do it for the vibes. Keep the vibes up going into game 2.
I honestly just want to be a fly on the wall to know what the decision making was here in this game. Like, as 369, why are we trying to just squeeze nothing from that top lane play? Because remember this, I feel like a lot of this game was precipitated by 369 dying behind enemy tier 1. That was very meaningless afterwards. He got a very small lead and then completely chucked it because of the minion wave that he missed out on. And then the gold that went over to Zika. And then we made no plays of getting Xiaohu in the mid lane. I feel like when you are playing this Azir, once you hit level 6, you and Pantheon should be trying to force Xiaohu's flash on every timer. And I feel like Top Esports not only failed to play the map at large, but they also just misexecuted a lot of the early game here for them.
Yeah. I think the one thing I can forgive Top Esports for is the Erha flank. But, because I just want to give more credit to Erha finding a pocket of vision that Top Esports didn't account for, and he was able to sneak through with a well-timed ghost usage on his unsealed spellbook as well. But I want to just point out that Erha out-roamed a Bard and just got way more information down than Fengyue. So it's I think that's gonna put a big pressure point on this support going into game 2, and seeing if NaiYou needs to be involved in that lane earlier so that Fengyue can be unlocked in a better way. But I don't even know if that's the solution, because it's not like Fengyue was chained in the bot lane. He made roams just as well. Like, as many times, he just didn't get as effective things done, right?
I think it's hard to get roams playing against Sivir as a support, because a lot of the normal timers from other AD carries, especially early on in the game, do change. Like with a Sivir, if you're this quirky, you can only do so much. You have some ways of surviving ganks, but when you're playing against Sivir, it changes the wave dynamics because she is so good at wave clear early on and as the game continues. So I want to say that Fengyue, it wasn't really the amount, as you were kind of mentioning, just the quality from Erha was so much better. I think this doesn't really change depending if it's a Bard. I feel like you would have gotten something very similar if this was like Rel versus Nautilus, or even like Braum versus like Nami, right? Like, I just think that Erha was being much more aware of what timers he's allowed to take, and that I think is improved by not just the champion of Sivir, but also the way that they played the early game. Like, we saw the lane, level 1, they got priority. Erha traded a lot of his early HP so that they can get priority, and that kind of helped dictate a lot of the lane.
Yeah, so I think then Alk gets like a little bit of an honorable mention just because
if Erha gets his MVP robbed, I'm going to be incredibly upset. And fans at home should be upset, I think. We usually don't take into consideration what the people in chat are feeling for these MVP votes, but they should want the best player in the game to win these MVPs, and it should be Erha.
Yeah. Watch them give it to Xiaohu just because of the shockwaves. Even though Erha delivered like 75 to 80% of them. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna wait to see the results.
If there is justice in this world, Erha will receive his MVP. And that, if you are top esports, you're saying, okay, bad game, but we can still pivot. There's still a lot of champions here. We haven't pulled out the Jhin. There's still MF later in the series here. Please give me yes.
Woo! All right, that's all we needed to see. We'll be back for game 2 after this break.